Hi guys, welcome to today's YouTube video. Today's YouTube video is all about personal growth and development. And really this is about the relationship that you have with yourself. In what ways are you choosing to continue to grow and develop and be the best version of yourself that you know you can be? So first I decided to look up the actual definition of personal growth and development. And what I found is it's the ongoing process of understanding and developing oneself in order to achieve one's fullest potential. And I really love this definition because it gives you really a good understanding of what is personal growth and development. And so first, if you think back up to date in the times in your life that you really are growing and you're really, maybe setting those goals or trying to achieve your fullest potential, what are the techniques or what are some of the things that you've done that have helped you get there so far? And if you're thinking like, oh my gosh, I don't know, or, am I growing or am I trying to develop? And I just want to say, like, just stop and don't get into the negative thinking and just think about, what do you need to understand about personal growth? Have you ever thought about it? Or, have there been times in your life where you've set goals and how did you try to achieve them? And even that in and of itself is growth. And sometimes we grow and develop when we hit roadblocks or failures or when we fall down and we choose to pick ourselves up. So all of that is, how are we kind of progressing when it comes to our personal growth? And the other thing is, so first kind of thinking about in your own life or your own journey, what is personal growth for you and what's it mean? What do you need to understand about it? Where do you start? Just kind of thinking about those things. And sometimes it's like, I don't know, or, I don't understand. So first, I just want you to think about in your life right now, what are some things that maybe you'd like to change? Or think about, am I living to my life's fullest potential? Am I honoring really to the core who I am or who I want to be? Am I holding myself back? Am I, not really seeing things as they are? Am I kind of fantasizing about something and then thinking in my mind like, oh, I can't do that? So first, is that happening? And if that is, think about, instead of saying, oh, I can't do that, say, why not? In a previous video that I did, it was really about positive affirmations, and the one that made an impact in my life recently is saying just actually I can. And so when I think about how do I want to grow, I've got to say, instead of why not, or instead of saying, oh, I can't, say actually I can, and challenge yourself. So it's, what parts do I want to change in my life right now, and what's my part in doing that? So for example, if I'm maybe not happy with my career, but I can't necessarily leave my job, then I would say, what are some things that I can do right now to help me, start to look at what are the things that I like about my job, or what brings me joy, or what am I learning about my career that can help me grow? And I think that's the thing, like when we're stuck in a situation that we don't really like, or we feel stuck, or we feel paralyzed, sometimes we tend to blame other instead of just looking at what our part is. And to me, growth really starts when we decide to look at what our part is instead of placing blame somewhere else. So, I think that's another piece, is instead of looking at other, say, what's my part? And where can I start in terms of growing or trying to create change? And that doesn't always mean like literal movement. Sometimes looking at where can I start is just becoming more aware of and starting a small step and starting to create a plan. So part of your personal growth is really thinking about, what are my biggest challenges, or what are my fears? And when we think about that, it's, that again, think about it as a way to say, how can I jump into those things and really look at what are some of the things that I'd like to how can I face my fears? And with my challenges, what parts are in my control so I can create movement? And how do I keep going? It's not just so in our fears and our challenges, those are typically the things that are holding us back. And a lot of it's up here, it's in our mind. It goes back to what I was saying earlier. Instead of saying, oh, I can't do that, or say, yes, I can, or why not, or what's the first step towards achieving my goals? What are your hopes? That goes back to what do I want to change? And when it comes to my personal growth, and even asking yourself, what would my life look like if I was living to my fullest potential? And sometimes people can't even think that way. We're so often thinking about all the negative, of what's happening that we don't like, or what's keeping us stuck. And I know I've just said to think about those things, but think about those things in order to help you move forward instead of keeping them stuck. So often we get caught up in our fear of failure that we don't acknowledge that sometimes we're afraid to succeed. So I think it's important to look at, what would my life look like if I was living to my fullest potential? And in the meditation practice that I do, the last part, Ziva meditation, it's amazing. Go check it out. One of the things that I do that is part of Ziva is really looking at manifesting what you want. And it is, Emily Fletcher, she asks the question, what are your goals? What are your dreams? What's the big scary dream that, you've said to yourself before, I don't want that, or I can't do that. I want it, but I can't do that. Instead, think about it, dream about it, manifest it, allow yourself to imagine all the possibilities. I have a beautiful quote that I didn't create, but that I have hanging up in my bedroom. It says, imagine all the beauty of possibilities. So I think that's an important one to remember when we're thinking about personal growth, possibility. So, the last part of of personal growth is purpose. What's our purpose? And that is a huge question. So to break it down, it's just, to me, it's thinking of what gives my life meaning in the everyday, and what am I working towards? What brings joy, what brings a smile to my face? And when I feel like I'm living in my purpose, then that's one of the ways that I know that I'm living my life's fullest potential. And understand that we're constantly growing and evolving. So things that are happening right now, maybe I'm not going to be doing 10 years from now. And that's okay. Part of personal growth is looking at, being in the present moment, and how am I growing, and making sure I'm, kind of checking myself to say, how am I living kind of in congruency with my beliefs and values, and what are the things that I want, and how do I continue to live and to grow. But I have to understand my purpose. Why am I doing that? In times when I'm not clear in what my purpose is, or what's bringing meaning to my life, then I typically make decisions that are kind of not aligned with my beliefs or values. So I think that's also part of personal growth. So, it's the willingness to explore. If I'm not making decisions that are congruent with who I am or my beliefs and values, then I really got to look at what my part is in that, and how can I change it, and then what do I want moving forward? What do I want? So I think all those things are important. So again, guys, look at, when it comes to personal growth, look at what is it for you and how do you define it? What would I like to change? What's one small step that I can start even today? What are my fears or challenges, or what are the things that are holding me back? What's my part in terms of creating change? What's my purpose? And what are my hopes and dreams? All right, so I applaud you in your journey of personal growth and development, and I believe in you. And remember, you are enough, you are of value, and you are worthy. Have a great day.